Marshmallow Fanboy back with another review, this time of the Amazing Spider-Man's Bombastic Bagman from Marvel Legends Amazing Spider-Man Retro Figures, which is meant to sort of remind you of the old Toy Biz days. Now this was a Target exclusive from a very specific moment in time. They also had a 3 3/4 inch version with Marvel Universe figures from few years ago. Of course, as I'm saying this, I think that this figure has been out for 2 or 3 years now, and I've had it. I haven't opened it or anything, but this story is extremely specific. Even though it says in the back that left without a costume, a desperate Peter Parker dons a spare Fantastic Four uniform and brown paper bag, and so the bombastic Bagman was born. No, mostly correct. Yes. But I wish that some of these cards had a little bit of context, a little bit of, pointing you toward the specific issue. In this case, I believe it was, Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man 258, I think. 258? I'll check. There should be something that pops up on this video that says, yes, it was, or no, not even close. But in that issue, what happens is that in previous issues of the Amazing Spider-Man, it's revealed that the costume comes off, but when he goes to sleep at night, the costume jumps back on and then goes out on its own, with Peter sort of supplying the body, but the suit sort of becoming sort of an adrenaline vampire and just sort of doing whatever it wants to do. And so Peter's a little worried. The costume is weird. He's always tired. So he takes it to the smartest guy he knows, Reed Richards. And that's when Reed tells him that it's a symbiote and that it's an adrenaline vampire and that it's trying to permanently bond with him. And at that point, Spidey tries to get that suit off. And luckily, Reed has gadgets, and, one of his teammates wields fire, which the suit does not like. And so he gets the suit off, but he's standing there pretty much in his underwear trying to cover his face. And they're like, what are you covering your face for? And he's like, some of us have a secret identity. And Johnny's like, I can handle that. And so he gives him an old Fantastic Four uniform with a bag over his head and a sign that says kick me, because he's Johnny. And why wouldn't he? So it comes with all the things that you would expect, the fists and the wall crawling hands. Of course, on his way home, he has no web shooters because when he was wearing the Venom symbiote, the webs came from the symbiote and not from him. So he didn't have any web shooters on him or anything else. Didn't need any shoes. I don't know. I could see his eyes a little bit below the bag, but other than that, this is a very specific moment in time, and it never happened again. And since then, of course, he's sort of shared his identity with the Fantastic Four, and he has an actual Fantastic Four uniform that he can use, either the white one with the Future Foundation issues, or the more recent blue one that he shares with Wolverine, where Franklin and Valeria recruit him, and his parents had uniforms ready in case they needed them. So that is him in the side of the package. Looks very cool. Let's take him out and see what we think of him in person. Okay, now that he's out of the package, let's take a closer look at the bombastic Bagman. First, in addition to the sort of a wall-crawling hand and the fist that he already has, he comes with matching fist and wall-crawling hand that he can have two fists or two wall-crawling hands. It's tough because I tried to get him into kind of a wall-crawling position on the ground, but the head doesn't go any further than that up. So you can't really put him down because he's looking permanently down. Even if you sort of torque him back with the mid torso, or the what do you call this? The hinge thing? I used to know that. Anywho, it's, it is it's good reuse of a body. I'm not sure what buck that's on, but you can see that, there's no butterfly joints or anything, but some double pin legs and double pin arms. It's the old style body. I'm trying to figure out if they had a newer sort of body. It's gray 4 instead of sort of black 4. I'm not really sure if that's comic book accurate, but the costume is. That bag is amazing. The kind of the texture, you can see his eyes through it. He looks plenty embarrassed in that. It would have been nice if there had been a little bit of texture. Actually, no, because a paper bag just sort of. You remember you get paper bags from a grocery store, and you can, you know, get them a little crinkled, and no, that can't be like a bag that you use for school lunches. It's got to be a little bit bigger. Not actually sure where Johnny got that bag, but it'd be cool. It's not in the comic book. It's there isn't any like Albertsons or something on the back of the bag or anything. But that would have been a cool addition. But it's a really solid figure. If you liked this moment of time, if you even understood the reference, then chances are you got it, because it wasn't hard to get at Target. But if you didn't understand the reference and you thought, I'm not getting this, because there's a couple Spider-Mans that have come out where I'm like, the hell is that from? And I have super passed on them. But it's an awesome figure. If you get Spider-Man 258, or if you have an omnibus or something that includes Amazing Spider-Man 258 or something, there's a lot of ups and downs with the symbiote. I mean, if you think about it, from 258 to 299, that symbiote is just floating out there. So for 3 or 4 years, that symbiote's not doing anything, and then boom, bonds with Eddie Brock, and you get Venom. Um, there was the very first Web of Spider-Man issue was the with the Charles Vess cover, was the escape of the symbiote from the Fantastic Four, and it tries to find Peter, and Peter spends the rest of the issue trying to get the suit off of him, and it ends in a. Should I tell you? You know what, the thing is 40 years old, so let's just say that we're not spoiling anything if something's over 20 years old. So the very first Web of Spider-Man, he gets into a bell tower, and because Reed has already said that it's vulnerable to sonics, he's able to shake that symbiote with the bell tower, and it almost but about kills him. Peter collapses. He's wearing his regular spider suit underneath, because he wasn't expecting to go out in the symbiote. I think he was in the Spider-Man suit. He could have been naked again, and who knows. Anywho, he the suit slinks off to fight another day. So the suit is one of his rogues galleries for a while before it bonds with somebody, and then it becomes more, and it becomes a super rogue. I don't know. I gave that a shot, but it's a cool moment. I don't know if 258 is a key issue. It should be. It's sort of an origin, or maybe not an origin, but it does shed more light on what the symbiote is, and what its limitations are, and what its vulnerabilities are. So you can't get him anymore. This is a very old figure. This figure's not carried by Target anymore. But if you can get him through other means, I'm sure he's not super expensive. I'm sure he's not. I'm sure he's retail or below on anything you can get him on. But if you can, he's a cool addition to your team. So until next time, enjoy your toys.